And we're back. Hey guys, hope you're having a great day. Today, we are going to talk about why sellers say no to your offer and how to get them to say yes. Come on, guys. If you've been wholesaling for more than a day, you probably have been told, no, 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 no. I will not accept your lowball offer. Well, let's first start talking about why sellers will say no in the first place. And then we could talk about some ways that you could get sellers to accept more of your offers. Now, don't get discouraged, guys. If you hear no over and over again, you're only that much closer to a yes. I know this may seem like a very cliche thing to say, but it's the truth. If you put out 100 offers and then 99 people say no, you're only bound to get the 100th person or 101st person, so forth and so on, to have a more higher probability of them saying yes than the first person. I mean, it's a numbers game. That's why I love wholesaling, because there are certain metrics you can follow, certain indicators you can track to determine if you're on the right path. Meaning, if I give out 100 offers to 100 sellers, one of those sellers are going to be at least warm. They're at least going to be interested in what I have to say. That's why lead generation is so important. That's pretty much the only thing I focus on right now is lead gen, because I know if I give out more offers to more sellers and I have more leads to give out more offers to, then I'm going to be okay. And I can hit my deal goals every single month. So let's talk about why sellers may say no when you present these offers to them. Firstly, guys, we got to understand sellers do business with people that they know, like, and trust. If you're a stranger, which you are, if you first call them or you cold call them, they don't know you from anywhere. You can be a murderer for all they know. Not like you guys are. My audience, you guys are upstanding people, but for all they know, you could be a murderer, you could be a scammer, and you have to get their guard down, right? How do we do that? It's simple, guys, through building rapport. Now, it may not sound like the most exciting thing to do, but I'm being honest. If you build rapport with sellers, that takes care of over half the job for yourself. Now, how are you able to do that? A lot of you guys may ask. This isn't simply just saying trying to emulate or mirror what your seller is saying on the phone. I know a lot of people that teach sales teach that, like car salesmen. I think that's why car salesmen get such a bad rap, used car salesmen, because, if you go out there to a car lot, they're like sharks. And then they may see that you have a nice shirt on. They're going to say, oh, I like that black hoodie, and try to warm and cozy up to you. We're not doing that in this particular situation. What we're doing is just understanding where the seller's coming from. We're not faking. We're not pretending. We're not acting like we're something we're not, but we're meeting them where they're at. And you could give compliments here and there. That's fine. But just know that if the seller's going to do business with you, they're going to do business with somebody that they know, like, and trust. Please remember that. They have to know you, meaning if you just call them, what's the likelihood of them selling their house to you? Even if they're at the same price that you need them to be at, even if they're at the right price. If a seller says they want $70K for their house and that's the price you need it at, and the ARV's $150,000 or $200,000, you may say, okay, I can buy that for $70,000 all day. And a seller may say no. And you may say, well, we're at the same price. Guys, it's not about price. When it comes to motivated sellers, it's about motivation. They have to have a reason to sell. If you just try to lead with, hey, I'll give you your price, then you're playing the same game that hundreds of other investors are playing. And you have to realize that your sellers are talking to multiple people, and multiple investors are probably giving them the same offers. So how are they going to differentiate between you or working with your competitors? It's through building rapport. This doesn't happen overnight. And this is why a lot of new wholesalers exit out of the game. I've seen it happen over and over again. Been doing this for, since 2015. I've been consulting / coaching investors / mentoring them since about 2017-ish. And I've seen so many people come in this game. I've taught my friends, family. I've taught family this. I've taught, people at work, people at school, from college. I've taught strangers this stuff. And the majority of people, guys, they wash out. I'm just telling you the reality of the situation, because it's not like they were expecting it to be easy, but I think they were expecting the whole process to be a lot, quicker, right? But, if you're only talking to 5 sellers a month and those are the only sellers that you have to follow up with and build rapport with, of course, it's going to take you a year to close a deal. That's why we go back to lead generation. The more leads you have, if you have 100 leads in 1 month, you're going to have a better chance of getting a deal under contract. I know that may seem overly simplified, but at the root, that's what the issue is a lot of the time whenever a lot of new investors enter in the industry and they don't get any traction and they end up leaving. They just aren't doing enough marketing. They aren't giving enough offers. They aren't putting their message out there to sellers, and they aren't following up. So if you guys want to be successful, you want to make sure you follow up. I'm just going to make some notes here. So we want to build rapport, and that's done through follow-up, right? Guys, just understand that if somebody comes through and agrees to your offer, that's maybe like 1 out of 1,000 actual leads that you'll get, like seller leads, people that say, yes, I'm interested. I'm not saying phone calls. I'm saying 1,000 leads. I generated this year 3,000 leads. That's a ton of leads. That's a ton of leads in 2021. And I would probably say out of those 3,000, I maybe had 4 or 5 sellers that were like ready to go immediately. And I sent them a purchase contract and they signed it. That's not the norm. That's what we like to call unicorns. And we don't build our business around unicorns. We build our business around actual facts and actual KPIs, key performance indicators that we can measure and that we can improve upon, right? We can't do anything with a seller that comes through and says they're interested in selling today. And then the next day we call them, they say, okay, yeah, send me the contract. We can't really do anything with that seller as far as getting any insights from them because I know that's an anomaly, right? And so I can't really measure that. I just take that as a bonus. I know for the most part, it's going to take me following up with these sellers over the course of 2 to 3 months, maybe even longer. I contracted a property over the summer from a seller that wanted that I think I called them for the first time like in 2018, 2019. So, 2 years, almost 3 years, and I bought the house from them. That's how serious you should take this. Now, don't get discouraged and say, well, I can't do that. That's a long time to wait for a deal. That's not the case. Because once you build up your pipeline, meaning your lead flow of sellers, it's going to get a lot easier if you have consistent marketing going out and you're generating 50, 100 seller leads a month. If you're doing that every single month, you're going to have somebody who wants to sell every single month just off a follow-up. But you have to be following up with these people consistently. You have to get on the phone after they tell you no, they're not interested, and ask them, hey, has your situation changed? It's December 1st, 2021 as I'm shooting this video. If I had a seller come in today and they said they weren't interested and I gave them my offer, I'd follow up with them on January 1st, 2022 to see if they were interested. A lot of you guys may say, well, what's the point of that? They already said no. Their situation might change. Who knows? Their house could have caught on fire. Unfortunately, they could have had a loved one pass away, or they went to the hospital. They got hip replacement. They can't travel up and down the stairs in their house anymore. We don't know this unless we follow up with them, guys. Seriously. So this is a big thing I see a lot of investors try not to do. And they just want to go for those low hanging fruit, those unicorns, like I mentioned earlier in the video. We're not going after those people. We're going after actual people that we need to build rapport with. These are actually going to be majority of the deals that we close. So build rapport through follow up. That's the biggest thing right there, guys. So we want to follow up with our sellers and we want to build rapport. Building rapport only happens through follow up. And you want to touch base with them. And see, these calls can be around like 5 to 10 minutes. If I could type properly, right? They don't have to be long phone calls. You're really just touching base to see if their situation changed. So, if you have 100 sellers, you can knock out all those 100 follow-ups in like a day, potentially, depending on how hard you're hitting the phones. So you don't have to do a lot there. So sellers say no because simply, guys, they don't know, like, and trust you. They just don't know you. It's not about the price. It's not about, their website or your business cards or anything like that. It comes from good old fashioned elbow grease, good old fashioned sweat equity, time, right? Being there over the course of 2, 3, 4 months, offering the seller to assist the seller with certain things. You know, they say they're going to repair their house or their toilet broke on their rental. Hey, Mr. Seller, I have a handyman for you. Would you like for me to send you his contact information? Man, Cece, that'll be great. You're awesome. How many of your competitors are doing that? We're just not going in for the kill. If you keep on going for the kill on the first call, guys, or the second call, you might as well stop doing this, because that's not the goal of this. The goal is to build rapport. And as you do this, the seller is going to start seeing you as a friend. As soon as they start seeing you as a friend and bouncing ideas off of you, you know, at that point, you have the seller in your back pocket in a good way, right? You know, not in a nefarious way, but you have that seller on your side, on your team. So if somebody comes through and they offer him more for their house, you know, that seller is going to call you and say, well, I got an offer from, you know, XYZ investment company. You know, have you heard anything about them, CC? Guess what they're doing at that point? They're using me as a consultant, essentially as like how they would use like a realtor or a doctor or an attorney for advice. They're using me as that person for advice for their house. So once you start getting to that point, guys, with sellers, you know it's time to sign the contract, or to get them to sign the contract if they haven't already. So guys, these are just a quick, you know, few reasons why sellers will say no to your offer. I hope this helps out a lot. I'll be creating more content like this. If you guys haven't, join the Facebook group. I'll put that link in the description. We are having a blast in there. We just go into detail on a lot of the content I put on in these videos. We go into way more detail in the group. So Future Alliance, it's Wholesaling Houses Future Alliance. Like I said, I'll drop a link in the description of this video. But guys, it's been a pleasure getting to know you guys, interacting with you guys over the comments. And let's keep it pushing, guys. We got to end out the new year, or end out the year on a strong note, and enter in the new year on a strong note. All right, guys, I'll chat with you guys in the next video.